Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. Got another episode. Vader Games TV. Why always me? Episode 124. 124. Now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. First things first. My peoples come first. My people, those that are here, those that are no longer here, thought of and always remembered. Now, I'm your humble host. Hopefully the mic is good. Level's okay. I'm your humble host with a great show, in my opinion. All right, I'm biased. Now, a lot transpired. It's international break. We got to figure out how we're gonna kind of keep ourselves entertained. And shout out to, let me say this real quick. Shout out to Troops and what he did with regards to funding for what's been happening or what has happened over in Jamaica. Large up to that, and everyone that contributed his 24-hour stream. Great entertainment and obviously great support raising money for Jamaica. And I also want to say this. As a City fan, I also want to say shout out to Matt over at Copish. All right. Go and do a quick search. He had an Avengers stream. Entertainment. Go show some love over there. We will be discussing. You can see the topics right here. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to the whole mix, you can see the topics right here. This is what's happening. This is what I'm going to be discussing. But the Avengers episode is so important. It's so poignant. It's so key. And we're going to discuss that in today's show. So thanks for tuning in. Much love. What I do every episode, I got to shout out the person that shows some love, being up in the comments. Drop that like button. Saying, Vader, I mess with you. I got this. Today, I got to show love to Letty. Letty first in the building. You know what it is? Smash the like button. Do the damn thing. You got to, on your way in, just hit the like button. Just hit the like button. Come on. Also do this, okay? Comment, be a part of the show. If you want to wait, you can easily just plan this out. 5 minutes I'm going to spend on talking about Manchester City. Right? And then I'm going to spend 5 minutes on the next stop and continue on. Now, it may extend, it may get a little longer based off the combo in the chat. This is where I interact with each and every one of you in the chat. Good looking out, being part of it. Sam. Big up, Vader. Hey, thank you. Letty's letting me know. Let's go. We get into it. Herbal in the building. My peeps are in the building. Big up, chat. Love. You know what Blue, you know what it is? Listen, blessed to each and every one of you. Now, the Real Housewives of Liverpool fan base was funny. Yo, listen, the collection, and there were so many, they couldn't all fit on the same stream. They had to let people go. Some people were joining. Mad confessions, people getting things off their chest. It was quality. My man Ryjack in the building. You know what it is. Yes, let's go. Now, as you guys continue to pour through, thank you so much. Listen, there's no tax, but it's appreciated. You hit that like button, and you being in the comment helps. Now, let me get everything kind of cleaned up because I want to get the timer going. I want to make sure that I'm on point because you guys can expect for the conversation to kind of flow. And I'm going to do this real quick. For those that are maybe listening and not able to maybe have their eyes on the device at the time right now. So let me say this. We're going to discuss Manchester City. Were they good? Were we good? Or were Liverpool bad? We're going to discuss that. All right. We're going to devote some time also. Jeremy Doku's apologies. They need to be louder. I'm just going to say that. Jeremy Doku's apologies need to be louder. And I'm not just pointing the finger. I'm not just pointing the finger at rivals. I'm pointing the finger at all my city people. My city people, your apologies I need them. I need them up here. They've been like kind of muted, kind of like, oh, you know what? I was kind of wrong about Doku. I kind of said he was a chicken running around with his head cut off. He's clueless. He doesn't know. I need all of the praise to be up here. Yeah. You know what? Let me wait because I'm going to go off on that. Let me wait. We're going to discuss Holland, Nico G, top quality, and many more with regards to the performance versus Liverpool. We're going to discuss that, of course. Listen, Herbal goes, big up Letty, large up Letty as well. Sam goes, pool social media drama is It's so meaty. So listen, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Also, Pep, and Pep. Pep squared. Pep G, Pep L, Pep Guardiola, Pep Linders, however you want it. Pep showed. He showed the Liverpool blueprint. He showed the Liverpool blueprint. Take a second and think about it. We're going to discuss that. Also, Arsenal. Are you looking over your shoulders? Arsenal surrendered 2 goals to Sunderland for the draw. We're going to discuss that. We're going to get into that. And this one, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be real. I might have to devote more than 5 minutes on this. This next topic, Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans are proving the question, the doubt, the raised, let's put this in perspective, about last season being a fluke. The way Liverpool fans are reacting to Slot in terms of not having the confidence in a manager that won them the Prem. And when a lot was discussed about it being a down league, down season, and they were arguing that it wasn't, how does this manager that they're ready to get out of here not deserve more time if he really was able to win against we're going to discuss all of that. I'm amped. And obviously I'm amped because City won 3-0, and we're going to get into that. We're getting into that. Now, I just realized as I look at the chat, I often take a moment, right? I'll be real with you. I got to take a pause when I see a certain particular person in the chat. My gal, she goes by my gal. I don't think I need to say more than that, but I'm going to say more for those that are new in the chat. My gal Rose is in the building. She goes, "Hey Vader, so grateful to troops and company, absolutely, for their intervention in helping Jamaica. I look forward to your stream, my happy place." Listen, Rose, thank you so very much. I always appreciate when we're able to link up and you're in the chat at the time of a live show. So thank you so much. Now, also, the title to the show, Why Always Me, episode 124, by the way, why City aren't back, but more than Holland FC, is also something that I'm going to want to highlight. And it's going to be kind of like an ongoing theme because we were told that we are only Holland FC. If Holland doesn't score, City don't win. All right. We're going to discuss that. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let me remind you guys that I got the timer here. I'm also going to know that as I switch out, if you don't happen to be watching, but you're listening, once you hear this, that means it's a change in scene. It's a change in topic. All right. So I'm going to start the clock. We're going to get into it. I'm going to do my best to stay in flow with the comments and as I'm talking. All right. I think I need a producer. Because I can just do my thing and someone can kind of keep track of the comments. I'm wondering if I can, I'm gonna work on something, but bless up each and every one of you. Sam goes, I'm gonna say this before we go. Sam goes, our bad run had reasons for it. You're right. And we still got roasted for it. Facts. We got heavily roasted for it. Pool's terrible run is inexcusable after spending $450 million on a title-winning squad. Sam, you're absolutely right. And this is why I was saying, and I realized I need Twitter X Premium to be able to post on this and Twitter at the same time. I ain't paying for Twitter. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. Future sponsorships, if that wants to happen, that's a different story. But I ain't paying for premium Twitter. I'm not doing that. What I will say is the media darlings are so protected. You can't even hide it anymore. There's no question. It's blatant. It's right in our face. The media darlings, Liverpool, are so protected right now. Big signings, poor season, the way they're talked about. Crazy. All right, let's get into it. All right. Manchester City, were we good or were Liverpool bad? I'm going to ask that of you in the chat. Y'all let me know. I'm going to give you my few cents to it. I thought we were very good. I thought we were very good from manager to player, obviously with performance. I thought we were very good. Now, not to get to be too much of a tactical, not to be too much of a, oh, here's what we saw on the pitch. We were up for the game. Obviously, we're at home, right? We're at home. We need to defend our house. But more importantly, and this is what always has to be reminded to those that aren't maybe accustomed to being title holders. When you have the title, you get everyone's best shot. All right, we got everyone's best shot last season after winning a four-peat and being in our terrible form. We got everyone's best shot, right? We had to give Liverpool our best performance at home, and I want to say our best performance of date with how we're currently constructed, with the addition of Shirky and Marmoush and Gonzalez and Ait Nori and Donnarumma. Like, I think this is the best we've seen, the best we've played. And I came across a few notable performances that I want to highlight, right? The way we were able to hold Mo Salah, the best right winger the Prem seen. That ain't me gassing. If I'm quoting Liverpool fans, I'm quoting Liverpool fans, right? I think many have said that. He's not the best player. He's not the GOAT, right? That's a different discussion. But in terms of the best right winger that we've seen in the Prem, I think he holds that down. So consistent. When you saw what O'Reilly did, I think we made him look bad. I think we made Mo Salah look bad because of how good O'Reilly played. When you think of their big signing in terms of Florian Wirtz, he wasn't even able to play in the midfield the way he was designed to. He was put out on the left wing. And then you look at what Matheus Nunes was able to do to him. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think the way our players played, and this isn't like big signings. This isn't like, oh, we went out and broke records with regards to these players. This is a Matheus Nunes who has been talked about very, very poorly in terms of he's not City quality. He's not good enough. Get him out. Shipped out. This is a player that obviously is a midfielder playing right back. How he performed, I think, needs to be highlighted. How O'Reilly played, highlighted. How Diaz also had a very good game. When you want to talk about center back pairings and who was kind of be touted, who's better than who, I think Diaz had the better game versus a Van Dijk. Had a better game, obviously, compared to a Konate. Gvardiol was a little, He was a little, Gvardiol, but again, still better than the tandem that was happening over at Liverpool. I think we made Liverpool look poor. I think we played very good, the best to date, but we still have levels to reach. I think Liverpool, as poor as they were, didn't really force us to raise our game, to raise our level. We did it on our own because of the importance of the game, because we want to stay within arm's reach. We want to stay within arm's reach of that Arsenal team that are currently 4 points above us, right? So I was really impressed with how we played. The poor performances or looking bad, playing bad of Liverpool was because of us. And I'm going to get into it a little later in the show when I talk about Pep and Pep, on why Liverpool looked bad, on why it was us doing this to them and them not just being like this. Because let's not forget, Real Madrid were their victims, right? Aston Villa were their victims. Liverpool have been in winning form, have been able to get results against two very, very good teams. Beating Real Madrid in the Champions League, that ain't easy. I know they've now done it 2 years in a row, but that's not easy. And we were all told, and I believed them, yes, the scoreline was flattering, but that should have been 3-4, right? Had it not been for Courtois, would have been a slapping, right? It would have been a slapping of Real Madrid. So we got to keep that in mind. I think City did this to Liverpool. And it was a great, great game going into the international break. Now, if you guys happen to think differently, if you think Liverpool are terrible, City aren't quite that good, that's what we saw on the day, that's up to you. I happen to believe that our game plan, which we'll get into, our game plan is what made Liverpool look so bad. Now, how we played, if I'm gonna be real, let me be real with you guys. I've been clocking it for a minute. I've been watching, taking my notes down. I know, as a North American watching players play, contract years, gotta be careful. When a player is in a contract year, you have to be careful. Mo Salah balled out. He was wilding last season, right? Look how goal contributions, crazy. Van Dijk, if there's a player to keep, right? If there's a player to keep for Liverpool, it is Van Dijk, his defensive security, all of that. I don't know what's going on with Van Dijk. Mo Salah, he's showing his age. I'm going to leave it at that. Mo Salah is showing his age. Look at the things that he no longer does. Look at how he's simplified his game in terms of effort. I think we are seeing he's not done. He's not washed. He's not terrible. It's not like he's not going to have games here and there and he's going to show his brilliance. But it's showing his age in terms of he can't do it as often. He can't do it in succession like that. And I saw this and it was hard for me to see it and be honest with it. But even with regards to KDB obviously had the brilliance, but can he do it every 3 days? I think that's what we're seeing in Mo Salah. Because again, if you want to talk about the games played, Aston Villa, Real Madrid look good. Third game now versus City, didn't quite have it there. Didn't quite have it. Let me see what my man Insomniatic is saying. Pep needs to get consistency out of City players. Slot needs fix the system that clicks. He needs to fix the system. Okay. Arteta needs improve attack and make it click. Fair. All teams have potential. Comes down to who fixes this. There's no perfect team. Insomniatic, I'm with you. There's no perfect team. There's like some dents that need to be ironed out, some things that need to be fixed. And the way you summarize it, I'm not mad at that. Stop making sense. Great name. The Sharks smell blood. Listen. The Sharks are coming in from deep water. The Sharks are coming in closer to the shore, right? The Sharks are coming in closer to the shore. They see what's happening. Keeping close. Sam agrees. And to solve their problems wins the league. Yeah, first one to solve it. I agree. Stop making sense says, does Shirky have the athletic baseline to succeed with City? You think he looked out of depth in the intense game? I don't think he didn't look out of depth. I think he didn't look to, from a fitness standpoint, I don't think he looked to maintain that level of intensity throughout the entire game. But he'll get there. I think he'll get there. There's a different physicality with the Prem. But I think what, like Liverpool fans are seeing with Verts is there's a progression. And I got no doubt that Shirky will be able to do it. His ability on the ball, I think he's going to be able to avoid some danger. He's going to be too much quality, especially with his creativity, to not be on that pitch. If we're going to be asking him to get in on these 50-50s and the defensive challenges, I don't think that'll ever be part of his game, but he'll step that up. All right, let's keep this moving. Let's keep it going. Let's reset that. Let's start it and go. All right. I'm gonna be. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be venting. I'm venting. Okay, I'm venting right now. And if it doesn't apply to you, cool. If it does apply to you, I want to see it in the chat. Vader, I gotta apologize to Doku. Vader, listen. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your priest or anything like that. But you can confess. You can be like, Vader, I said this about Doku. I need to apologize. Now's the time. In the chat. Go down and say, you know what? I got to apologize to Doku for this. Because in my opinion, I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, there's not enough of it. It was too quick. It was like a snap. It was like, oh, it happened and it moved on. I know we want to see more consistency from Doku. Yes, of course. But for those of you, and I'm pointing my finger again, I'm pointing again. For those of you that said he's never going to be good enough. For those of you that said his output will never be there. For those of you that said he cannot play for City, he cannot connect and link up with Haaland, I need to hear it. I need to hear it. If you want to just spam Doku, if you want to say my bad, if you want to, hey, we all understand. We all understand. You want to say my bad, I got it wrong. All right, hands up, I got it wrong. That's cool, but I need you guys all to challenge. You know the people around you. You know the fan base around you. You need to make sure, have them, and they gotta post it, not just say it to you in the group chat. They need to post it, because I know they were posting on how he wasn't good enough. This is the problem. This is the problem with this whole internet world right now. Negativity flies. It gets all over the place. The good stuff, the positivity, the growth. Yeah. Quick, a little like, maybe a retweet, repost. I'm telling you, Doku's performance versus defending champs, title holders, Liverpool. Wow. We've been seeing glimpses of it, right? We've been seeing the ability, even from the first year he got here. We've been seeing it. Now, we all said, man, woman said, we need to see it more consistent. There's a challenge for consistency year one for any player. Any player, there's a challenge to be consistent, right? We can talk about all the players that have been greats at Manchester City, needed some time. His explosiveness, and obviously where he plays in a kind of very isolated, let me see what you do type thing, needed some time. Now his quality is crazy, off the charts. I enjoy watching him play, and I've been defending for my life. Chat, I've been defending for my life for Jeremy Doku, no matter where I go. American Waffle, I gotta defend Doku. A-listers, I gotta defend Doku. I go on SarcasmTV, Mandem, I gotta defend Doku. I go over on Egal, of course, I go over there on Egal, I gotta defend Doku. Everywhere I go. And the thing is, the constant pressure, Vader, he's not good enough. Now that he shows that he's good enough, it's not. Where is it? Where's the talk? Where is the talk? Doku, great game, great performance. I love that he also said that his success wasn't solely on him. I very, very much like that. And we can see a lot more of this. We can see a player that obviously grows in confidence, grows in the trust that's given, right? The trust that's given from Pep. You can see that he's got the liberty, obviously, to be out there on the wing, move centrally. He's got the ability to be an outlet, even when we're just getting possession deep in our end. Ball gets out to him. I'm telling you. And you guys don't want to own up to it in the chat. It's okay. It's okay. But if any of you in the chat were like, Vader, I didn't think Doku was good enough, just say my bad. Let me see my bads in the chat. Or you know what? This is what we're gonna do. I will do it. Put it in the chat on who you know were not the biggest fans of Doku. I won't post it. I won't put it on screen, but I will say it out loud. I'd be like, listen, LB, you're wrong. You were wrong about Doku. Right? I'm gonna be like, Adam, you were wrong about Doku. I'll do that. So let me know names in the chat. You're not naming it. Actually, you know what? Stop. Don't do that. No snitching. We won't do that. But I will say, everyone that was kind of killing Doku, you gotta let's hear the apologies louder, please. Let's hear the apologies louder. My gal Rose goes, Vader, keep them honest. All Doku's detractors. That's what I'm saying. We need it all louder to be like, this is why we give players time. Professor Hamza, I know you put a TikTok. You're kind of dancing with regards to Doku. Doku Dino. It needs to be just the Vim. The Vim needs to be just as loud in terms of praising these players. Hold it down. Yes, these players aren't going to have perfect games all the time. Sometimes they're going to let you down, but the quality is there. Don't question the quality and this player being, quote unquote, good enough for City. All right, we need to stop that. We need to stop that. Yeah, so that was my vent. That was my vent. Let me go. Keep this clean. Now, when we talk about players performing, Doku, we want to see consistency. Haaland has been consistent. Haaland has been consistent. Ridiculously so. Like, ridiculous consistency. His missed pen surprised me, but didn't worry me. Haaland's missed pen surprised me. I'm going to be honest with you. But it didn't concern me. I wasn't worried. I was like, he's gonna give us a goal back. And I talked about this on a previous show. But if there's a learning, Haaland, let me speak to you real quick. Top quality. If there's a learning. You saw how the Liverpool keeper faked right. I'm doing it this way because I think that shows up right for you, right? But he faked, and then he, right? Or actually, I can do it the right way. He faked right, and then dove left. He faked right, dove left, and did it so quickly. And I think Haaland instinctively said, oh, you're going to waste time going right. I'm going to go. But he did it in such a quick moment. Great save, by the way. Haaland didn't disappoint. Said, oh, you got me on that one. You got me. What did he do? Rose up. Header. Placement. Quality. Can't hate on Haaland and his goal scoring. I think he was on a mission. Nico G was on a mission. All we've heard about Liverpool were the midfield, right? The quality of their midfield. There's so much that's been said, and I got no problem living under the radar. If the radar's up there, I got no problem being under here. Stealth mode. Let's fly under the radar. Stealth mode. They wanted to talk about Gravenberch being better because obviously Rodri's hurt. When they wanted to talk about a 6, Gravenberch is the best out there. They wanted to talk about world-class McAllister. Look at what he's done. They want to talk about Szoboszlai and how much he means. And then obviously the acquisition of Florian Wirtz because there was conversation of him playing in the midfield. We heard all this. Nico G heard all this. He stepped up and said, oh, this has been the convo? This is what is considered the standard? He performed unbelievably well. So good. He also caught, in my opinion, a light yellow. Caught a yellow, which in my opinion was a little light, but managed it so well. Amazing. And then when we want to talk about top quality from what we saw, not only from Haaland with the goal, not only from Nico G with the goal, and obviously we talked about Jeremy Doku. I didn't even highlight the goal that he scored, but listen. I might have to change the studio a little bit to get some space so that you can actually see my feet. I might get a ball and everything. Like I might move the camera out. But when you saw Doku just do that, drop the shoulder, and then woohoo, finesse. Listen, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Now, I think we have to mention earlier. I talked about O'Reilly. I talked about Nunes. But when you think about intensity, when you think about what's needed to manage this type of game, the energy that needs to be put out there. Foden, I know it didn't show up on the GA. Facts, stop making sense. Yes, that R2 circle. No, it's actually not R2. Well, for me, it's R1. R1 and circle. Whew, finesse. Beautiful. When we talk about not showing up on the stat sheet, but being so important to the game, Phil Foden. His ability to play on anywhere on the pitch, the trust that Pep's given him, right? Said, listen, it's now time for you to take the keys. We've had so much quality around you. We've had some seniors around you that obviously earned that role. Foden, now it's your time. Him and what he put in this game, absolutely amazing. Then we also want to point out, and it was mentioned, Bernardo Silva. one of the most underrated players, because what he does not show up on the stat line. But you get a mad clearance that comes down, easy touch control. You want to talk about dancing around a few players, retaining possession, slowing the game down, resetting. Bernardo Silva. You want to talk about a dog that's like, I got to do a tactical foul here that might be running downhill on us? Bernardo Silva. It was such a great game for how those two played in particular and how they were moving amongst the pitch with the press, with possession. I was so happy with it. I'm gonna get to the comments. Good looking out. But I think when you talk about quality, when they want to say that we are Holland FC, how do you say we're Holland FC when you saw all of that quality on display versus Liverpool? Now, if you're going to be lazy, and you want to just talk about GA, you want to, or more importantly, you want to just talk about goals, okay. All right, we're leaning on Holland. We have a goal machine in Holland. What's the problem there? I just saw my girl DC in the building. Letty in the building. Rose in the building. DC in the building. Bless. Thank you all for being in the show. The quality all around is good. Now, goals, we need to get more goals. We need to get more goals from our peoples. Absolutely. Absolutely, we need to get more goals. And in this game, we got goals from Nico G, Doku, and let's be real. We could have easily gotten a goal from Foden. That pass from Doku, I think Foden kind of slowed up a little bit, didn't quite get to it. And O'Reilly, man, just take your time. You could have at least had one of those two that skied over the net. Should have been on target. I think he had a chance to score. But we had such an impressive game. Now let's get in. This topic is going to be fun. I'm glad you guys are here for this. This topic is going to be fun. Oh wait, what did I miss? Letty told me I need to calm down. I'll break the PC. No, I'm cool. I backed up the chair, so I'm good. Let me see. Here we go. Now I'm gonna have fun with this one. I'm gonna be shameless with this one. I'm gonna have some fun with this one. Pep Linders. You thought I was gonna say Pep Guardiola. Pep Linders. Pep. What a combination. Pep squared is dangerous. Because you got the attacking mind. You got the possession mind. You're like, here's how we're gonna break team downs. I see you guys in the building. Thank you so very much. Pep. We got two Peps, and it's a problem. The attacking mind, the possession mind, the movement mind, and then we got here's how to crank up the intensity. Here's how to kind of adjust the press. Here's how we can keep more of the ball in terms of winning it back. The combination was deadly. And the combination was very, very key in this game versus Liverpool. Liverpool fans hated it. They told me at the announcement, right? They told me at the announcement with Pep Linders. Oh, he's going to ruin you guys. Oh, you're going to see. You guys are going to be dropping like flies. The amount of energy that you got to expend in practice, you're going to be done. Do they think that Pep Linders was going to come to Manchester City and then take over? They were talking like he was going to do what he did at Liverpool. The fact that Klopp let him have that much power at the time, that's on him. That ain't Pep. Pep's like, listen, let's work together. Let's collaborate. What do you see here? What do you do? What can we do? And then when they collaborated and then they looked on the calendar and they said, oh, Liverpool game. All right, let's download. Let's set up. Let's prep. Let's prep for this game. What are we going to do? It was Pep G. What do you think? How do you think we should approach this game versus Liverpool? What do you happen to know that might be of advantage? Hey, Pep. Yeah, Pep. From my experience, I think you should look to have Konate have the ball. Really? You think we should let Konate have the ball on that side of the pitch? Yeah, Pep, you need to do that, because I know from being over there and working with Klopp and working with that team that Konate is not confident on the ball, and we're seeing that this season his mind doesn't seem to be at Liverpool. I think that's an advantage we can take. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. Now we're gonna take that advice, and then what I've been seeing, Pep, is that Salah is not really tracking back defensively like that. So maybe we have an advantage there where he's going to be so offensive focused and maybe holding close advanced roles that if we kind of condense the side, they might not have any joy. Pep, nah, you're right, Pep. This is what they were doing. The Pep conversation was great because they were exchanging their brilliance, attacking and defense. We've given the football world the blueprint. Yes, I know Crystal Palace got their result. I know we've seen other teams play the long ball, do what they did. Versus, sorry, I was having some fun. We saw what other teams have done to get joy versus Liverpool, and obviously you can take elements of it. But when you saw what we did, this is the blueprint that many clubs can do. Listen, Konate, expect a copycat league. Others are going to be like, we're not letting Van Dijk beat us. Konate, it's on you. Now, who's going to draw back? Is this going to now have Slot evolve to have Gravenberch come back and McAllister come back? Is there going to be more of a connection between the midfield and the back line? Who knows? But the blueprint has now been provided. Arnie, you got to switch up. You got to change up. The Pep conversation and how they prepped for this game, brilliant. Because lesser teams with lesser quality, no disrespect, but teams with lesser quality have beaten Liverpool. And now we've shown them the blueprint from how they did it and how we did it. I think it's a problem. Letty in the building. Rivals are just salty. Even Torre is improving our defense. Listen, we got Colo, we got James French, Pep Linders. The change up in the staffing, it's needed. You got to freshen some things up. We see this in the corporate world all the time. They got to change out some CEOs. They got to do that at times just to have a resurgence. Some new energy out there. I'm trying to catch up with the comments. Yeah, I think I'm good. I missed Fox in the building. Fox in the building goes, big up Vader. Just got out of work. Oh, nice. And just got out of work meeting and had to tune in one time. Yo, no, much appreciated. Every time. Fox, every time. You do your thing. Comment, like, always appreciated. Now, the Pep blueprint is out there. Now we don't play Liverpool for a while now. But now we just sit back. Now we wait. Now we see what the other teams do. We see how they set up. We see Sean Dyche. What does he do? What are the opposing teams going to do? Sam in the building. I see you. Good looking out. But what are other teams going to do? We're just going to sit back and watch. The blueprint has been laid out there. I can't lie. I'm gonna have fun with this topic as well. This is a fun show. You know what? It's always a fun show after a win. I can't lie. International break too, nice and chill. We got time with this one. We got some time with this one. Let me start the clock. And I see Ack in the building. Good looking out. Look. Arsenal. The defense that only surrendered 3 goals. The team that doesn't allow shots on target. The team that are going to be breaking Chelsea's defensive record. Whoa! Slow down a minute. I know a lot was said. They've only surrendered 3 goals after 10 games if you then calculate that out, they're going to be under the allotment of 15 goals that Chelsea only surrendered in the season. Slow down there. Slow down. Slow down. Surrendered 2 goals to Sunderland? They surrendered 2 goals. Are Sunderland known for their attack? Are they known to be that offensive? I'm like, there's some vulnerabilities. It was said early in the chat. There's things that Arsenal need to fix. There's things that City need to fix. And there's things that obviously Liverpool need to fix. I'm also not counting out. Listen, I'm not counting out Chelsea. I'm not counting out Chelsea because if you have a team with the quality that they have and with the injuries that they've had defensively getting back to it, you can't count them out. But I'm going to point out Arsenal surrendering 2 goals to Sunderland for the draw, playing before the Manchester City Liverpool game and dropping points. I'm seeing a reoccurring theme or occurrence, right? I'm seeing something that I'm seeing something that Arsenal are a little too comfortable doing, right? A point where they can apply that pressure. A point where it was like, listen, number 1 playing number 4, number 2 playing number 3, and they dropped points. They dropped points. They surrendered the first goal, and they surrendered the tying goal. Arsenal, they're not as good as they're hyped up to be. That's one thing that's always clear, right? It's always, we know that. Arsenal are never as good as they're hyped up to be. Now, their hyped up defense got humbled. I think we all got reminded, if Sunderland can score 2 on Arsenal, right? If everyone's going to use the logic of, oh, you know what? Arsenal scored 2 open play goals. So what? That means it's not a problem? It's not a problem with you guys scoring open play goals? Then, okay, if Sunderland can score 2 goals and they're not really known for their scoring like that, why can't others do it? It's great. Great combo. Great things to be discussing during this international break. Let me go to the comments real quick. Insomniac goes, Sunderland goals are always like that. They do score scrappy goals every game. They do score scrappy ones, but they scored 2 goals versus an Arsenal that don't surrender goals, right? This is why it was interesting. The result was very, very interesting. Sam goes, Arsenal is defense first. Their attack gets sacrificed for it. Great. I agree, Sam, 100%. I think the reason why they are poor in attack is because how much they emphasize in their defense. They had 9 players on transition and have attackers run back to tackle. Listen, their wing players are wing backs, essentially. Arsenal panic easily when people get behind their defense. They're not accustomed to it. I think it's something where more teams will start to exploit. And don't get me wrong, the play over top, flick on for a second ball is where I think Arsenal can be vulnerable, if I'm being real with you. Also, Insomniac goes, huge points dropped every time before international break. And huge points drops when they can actually put major pressure on who's close to them with regards to a title contention. I'm with you. They did 100%. Sam also goes on to say, they only score open play goals when they stop being defensive. This is the thing, and you can see you can see when Arteta is like, here is me in attack mode. Here's me when I'm bringing on players to influence the game from an attacking standpoint. You can see how he manages his subs and how they kind of set up. It's really good. And again, it's game week 11, right? Game week 12 after the international break. So much more football to play. We'll see how he adjusts. You know what? I'm not mad at that. He's not all that they say he is. And he's got levels to get, and he's got accomplishments to accomplish before he's talked about the way he is talked about. Act big up, you know what it is. Now, I might have to earmuff this one for Liverpool fans. Actually, nah, they need the truth. They need the truth. No earmuffing. No earmuffing. For those of you new to the channel, what I mean by earmuffs is when I'm gonna say something that's tough to hear, you know, that might not be age appropriate, that might not be ready to be heard. I do this.
Max, can you earmuff it for me? We are gonna get so
classic movie. If you don't know, you better find out. But yeah, when there's an earmuff moment, that's what I put up there. And that's just I'm just trying to be sensitive. Don't want people getting upset. Now this one's gonna be a fun one. This one's gonna be a fun one. Let's get it. All right. Let me give you some context. Let me give you some background. Okay. Last season, City fell off, right? 1 win in 13, 1 win in 14. It was poor. Earmuff it. Muff it. Exactly. Muff it. Funny. City fell off. Injuries, playing poor, energy level dropped. It was terrible. Arsenal, who were to be in title contention, fell off as well. Weren't consistent, injuries as well. As we, City, Arsenal, were reminding the league expected winners that were running away with it. Like, guys, you're winning the league, but let's be real. This isn't a typical season. Like this is an off season. The league's not that strong, right? They didn't want to hear it. Liverpool fans didn't want to hear it. Look at how Salah's playing. Top level. Look at what he's doing. Look at Van Dijk back to his form, defending everything, right? Also, Slot's a genius. Slot is a genius. He came into the league, spent what, 10 mil on Chiesa. And look what he's doing with the squad. Look what he's able to transform. What Jurgen Klopp was not able to do with the same squad. Look at what Arne's doing, right? Slot is a genius. Now, when we were telling you the league's down, you guys are running away with it. You credit to you won the Prem, credit. But you weren't battle tested. You weren't really challenged like that. It wasn't a title race. We all fell off. You got it. You earned it. Okay. But you ain't that genius you keep telling us all about. You're not that club that's got it all locked up. We're telling you all this. And you guys didn't want to listen. You said, no, he's a genius. Look at how good we are. On top of that, you said, now we're going to be spending money like we've never spent before. We're going to be doing things like Chelsea. 450 million. 450 million. Record signing in a 9. Told he was the best in the Prem. Record signing in a midfielder. He was the best midfielder coming from the Bundesliga. He wanted to go to City. You went and got Kirk as defender, first team, right? Starting first 11. Frimpong, look at what he contributes, even though we're losing Trent. Trent, get out of here. We don't need you. Trent, you don't want to be here. See ya. You're out. They said all that, Frimpong. And then they also want to talk about how they had all of that and the returning players. And don't forget how they also want to flex. Oh, Newcastle ain't playing. They're talking about 150 for Isak, and they're going to get they snatched up Ekitike. They took it all. They were like, we got it all. This is what we're doing. Liverpool, you are proving what we were saying is true. The reason why you're proving what City fans, what rivals were saying, listen, you won the league, but you're not all that. Your manager's not a genius. You guys were telling us he was. You guys were telling us, look at what he's done. Look at what Jurgen Klopp couldn't do. You guys were saying all this, but I know for a fact you don't believe it. I also know for a fact that you realize that last season was a fluke. Last season was fugazi in terms of how it represented and highlighted and displayed this manager in your club and your team. Liverpool fans proved that last season was a fluke. How are you now saying Slot out? How do you say out to a genius? How do you say, genius, get out of my club week 11? Get out. You're not gonna get better. You're not getting better. Get out. How do you do that to a genius? How? I don't get it. I get it if you're lying to yourselves, if you're lying to us. I mean, I never believed the lies, but you don't. Do you really turn on a genius? Do you really turn on a manager that was able to turn a winning squad, turn a squad that wasn't winning into winning? Are you really going to turn on a manager that now has the addition of all these attacking players, great players, and is going to need some time to figure it out? Are you really turning around on him? Are you doing all that? How do you do that to a winning squad? If you earned that Prem last season, if you had that quality, if he had all these adjustments, if he's always able to make the little tweaks, the halftime fixes, why would you be turning on this manager? Last season was a fluke. It's clear as day. You never believed anything that you were hyping up about. Any of these claims about the manager, about the team, and this continued success. If it was about continued success, you're going to run away with this manager, then you don't give up on him right now. Those that are all of you that are Arne Slot out, you're proving the point with regards to last season and his overhypeness and you winning that fluke league. You earned it, but you didn't have to battle for it. And if you knew he was capable of battling, if you knew that he would have battled for it had it been the case, then you don't get rid of him right now. If he's a battler, if Arne Slot is a battler, you don't get rid of him week 11. Now, I know, listen, that 5 minutes flew by. I still got things to say. If you haven't, and I'm going to say this for the second time, if you didn't catch Matt, all right, Coppish Matt, over at Team Coppish, right? Him and Cal and Drifty. If you didn't catch his show last night, do a quick search. Avengers, Liverpool Civil War. Literally, the screen was divided. Those Arne in, those Arne out. It was great. Now, all the things, this is what I love about content. All the things that I was saying, my peeps, my city peeps, those of you in the chat were saying, rivals to Liverpool fans were saying with regards to Slot, with regards to the club, the players, the Arne outs, the Slot outs are repeating all of that verbatim. They're saying what we've been saying. If I had the time, if there was an AI, I'd be like, listen, clip up everything I said and then superimpose it half screen with what the Arne Slot outers are saying. Was I gaslighting? I'm accused of being the gaslighter. GLE, gaslighter extraordinaire, right? Shout out to my man Flawless. I'm accused of being a gaslighter, but what I was saying is being said by the Arne Slot outs right now. So who's doing what? Who's really doing what? I see you guys in the chat. Listen, I know I'm going off on this one. I'm gonna get back to you in the chat. What we said with regards to last season, the Liverpool fans that are now Arne Slot out obviously didn't want to hear it from me. They didn't want to hear it from rivals. But they were listening. They didn't want to hear it, but they were listening. And now they're saying those same things. Now it's being accepted. They're having the conversation amongst themselves because, again, it's Liverpool talking Liverpool. I get it. I can't say it. I'm a City fan. I'm hating. But what I love is that what I was saying, what I was accused of being a gaslighter about, is being talked about right now. Go and check out that video. Obviously, after this one, hit a like, subscribe, comment, be a part of the show. But go out. It's long, so you might have to kind of like skip a few things. But go out and check out. This is why I love content. This is why I love how it's documented. I'm okay. You accuse me of being a gaslighter. I play the long game. Say I'm a gaslighter right now. Don't want to hear what I have to say. Fast forward, 6 months? Not even? Fast forward now, game week 11. What Vader was saying was actually correct. This is what I love. Avengers assembled and they had the conversation. Now, I think there's obviously Arne Slot in, Arne Slot out, Arne Slot doubt. Shout out to my man Don Hussam. Don Hussam is Arne Slot doubt. He's not out, but if you hear him talk, he's not in either. he says it's a feeling. Don Hussam is waiting. He's waiting for there's a feeling. There's a feeling on when he's going to be Arnie Slot out. So he's Arnie Slot out right now. Okay? He's Arnie Slot out right now. I don't know what the feeling is. I don't know what the feeling is going to be. But there is such a movement right now with regards to those that are doubting Arnie Slot. And I understand why. He wasn't battle tested last season. He got so much investment that no one's ever gotten, and he's regressed. He's fallen back. Also, I think the biggest thing that isn't getting discussed enough is he has a worse winning, or he has a worse losing record than Ruben Amorim. And not only that, he lost to this United Ruben Amorim. And shout out to my man Lex. My man Lex said losing to that United is like 3 losses. He said losing to that. He said losing to that United was like 3 losses. Arnie's in a bad place. He's in a bad place. Can he turn it around? I think he can. Listen, I think he can. I think Arnie can turn it around. Winning a Prem's not easy, even though he wasn't battle tested like that. But to win it, to manage things, it's not easy. I don't think you really give up on managers that win you a Prem. But yeah, shout out to Lex. Bless up. When it comes down to, sorry, I'm reading the chat. When it comes down to a belief in a manager, a belief in what was said, right? A belief in what was really discussed. If you really believed it, you don't give up on him. If you really believed in terms of the club, its decisions, the players and their performances, sustainability, give Salah the contract. Give Van Dijk the contract. Trent 12, get out of here. We don't need you. You're right. If all that was believed, if the acquisition of Isak, Ekitike, Verts, Kirkez, Frank Pong, if those players mean you guys are running away with it because of this manager as well, you don't give up on the manager if you really believed what you were saying. All right. I know I'm accused of being the gaslighter, but I'm consistent. Those that were telling me I was a gaslighter and telling me that I was talking crap last season are saying what I'm saying now. So who's the gaslighter? Let me get to the comments. Good looking out at each and every one of you. I know I fell behind on this one. Sam goes, I'm going back a bit. Sam goes, 1 season doesn't make a manager a genius. According to Liverpool fans, it does. He was a genius because he took on a squad that only got Chiesa. He took on a squad that were able to do something in year 1 that wasn't able to be done by Klopp in year 1, nor Arteta year 1. Now, he did win the Prem in year 1. My man Pellegrini not only won the Prem, but won a League Cup, 2 trophies. But yeah, I wasn't quick to label Pellegrini a genius. Liverpool fans labeled him a genius because of just winning the Prem. Letty, from Arnie Slot to Arnie Slut being wow. Oh, all right. I hear that. Arnie lost. He did. I do excuse your French. My gal goes, Vader Slot scammed the league last season. He had the perfect storm. He had a 4-peat, nearly impossible win a 5-peat, right? He had that. So City, realistically, what was the probability of City winning 5 in a row? That was mad to begin with, right? But we also fell off. And then you had injury-plagued, inconsistent Arsenal. Perfect storm. I hear you with the scammed it. He scammed it. Slot out, 100%. Ack in the building. Exactly, Ack. These men are proving our point, basically. I love sitting back. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but I love putting my feet up. I love just let me hear what they're saying. Oh, this is sounding mad familiar. The only difference is It's got an English accent to it. That's the only difference. The only difference is you guys are Liverpool fans. So, nah, all cool. They won a DM, but last season Grab was so called. That's what I'm talking about, Letty. They're all over the place. All over the place. I'm so happy with what's going on. My man Carl in the building. I'm sorry I just caught this late. He says send the link. I will send you the link. And my bad to the group chat because I asked and I didn't get a chime. What am I doing on time? I'm an hour in. I think I can manage this. All right, let me see here. All right. Apologies for the break. Let me get this going. Now, if you're not familiar with pitch points, great guy, coach himself. He's a coach, and he's one to always improve as well in terms of learning more from a coaching standpoint and sharing back. Like he's not selfish with it, which is always appreciated. I always love hearing his perspective. Let me share this in here. Boom, boom. Hopefully, let's see if he's still available. But the conversation with regards to Liverpool has been insane. And again, I know that I can only say so much as a rival. Maybe they don't want to hear it, but I'm telling the truth. I don't do this just to be extra. Letty goes, the ain't no Avengers. They are the real housewives of the Liverpool fan base. I'm with you. Now, like Batman in the mix, just showing up, ready to talk. I did preview this. Let me know what you want to discuss, and then I'll move the cursor appropriately. But please, joining us, my guy, Pitch Points, Gundalorian. How you doing, Gundo?
Hey, it's been a while. I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while. Good to hear from you.
Yep, I saw the show and I said, "Oh, let me try to get on. Let me try to join you."
Absolutely. Now, I don't know what you were able to catch or not catch. I'll quickly remind everybody in the chat. I talked about City. Were we good? Were Liverpool bad? I talked about Jeremy Doku's apologies need to be louder because it seems like the disrespect was louder than the apologies. Talked about Holland, Nico, and several players top quality on the day. I talked about Pep and Pep. Pep G, Pep Linders, the game plan, the blueprint that they put out for Liverpool.
Yes.
Arsenal surrendering 2 goals versus Sunderland. And Liverpool fan base pretty much ready to turn on Arne Slot, who was just the genius and who had everything perfectly set up before a ball was kicked. Which of those topics? I know I rattled through all of them. Which of those do you want to go in on? Which one do you want to?
I mean, let's talk about the game. I think the game is what's more important. Yeah.
All right.
The question about with Liverpool bad and City, Liverpool were decent. I mean, they were decent in many moments of the game, especially the second half. It's just that Pep was just City at their best, was just a different beast. You know, that team, the way they played, last weekend, they beat anybody the way they played. If you remember, Vader, right, we've always talked about, in our group chats, we talk about formations, and we have this great debate going on about what's a best formation, who should play the position, all that stuff, right? And what he played that Sunday is what we all agreed is the best formation that we have. If you were to play the UCL final tomorrow, that's the team that plays it.
I hear you with the team. Do you think that there's a tweak in where we are on the pitch? Again, playing against a back five or playing against a different style of attack.
No, because now what we're doing now, we don't have to play the crazy high line, right? Like we normally do, right? In fact, I think the last 2 or 3 games we've seen the possession, and we had less possession than the opposition. Bournemouth, I believe Dortmund, and even Liverpool.
Now, listen, everybody in the chat, good looking out. This is where I love the conversation with Gundalorian, because where I would challenge that a little bit, not even challenge, but maybe look to get clarity is, are we still having the majority of possession until we're that 1 goal, 2 goal up, and then we're conceding the possession. Because it'd be interesting to see where we are possession
Yeah,
wise throughout
yeah.
the 90 minutes. Yeah, but I hear your point. We have been a lot more comfortable without the ball.
If you think about all the big games that we've played, let's say the big games, right? We played Arsenal away, we had less possession. Liverpool at home, less possession. Bournemouth, less possession. Dortmund, less possession. Right? That's 4 examples that I know clearly. United, I have to check the details of the data,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. My guess is we probably had less possession as well. In all those games, we haven't lost.
Now, and when we geek out, those in the chat, I don't know if any of my statisticians are in there, but when we also talk about possession, and this is where
Mm.
I won't do it on this show. I think it would require me to actually have another screen up and kind of have the stats out. But is are the possession stats that we are conceding? Is it more so while we're in our defensive third? Is it more so when we're in the middle of the pitch? Like, you know, getting into those fine details. I do like how we're not.
So
Yeah,
what
go
I
ahead.
would say is just from my, at least, and I have to check this again, from my perspective, usually last year we try to keep possession in the attacking third for the most part,
Mm,
right? Which is basically the attacking third of us, which is the
yeah,
defensive third of the other team.
yeah.
What I'm seeing this year is that possession is more in the middle third and sometimes in the defensive third, which
Okay.
allows us to transition into goal quickly. The truth is, in my opinion, we have more athletic, more runners, more physically dominant players than we've had even in the De Bruyne years,
Okay.
right? So if we look at there's a clip I saw where I think Doku has the ball and he's sprinting at Bradley on the left hand
Yeah.
side.
Yep.
Right inside, I see Nico O'Reilly sprinting like Kyle Walker inside.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Think about Zinchenko. Did we ever do that? Not really. Right? Think
No.
about last
Yeah.
year. Did we do that with Ake? Not really. Do we have that underlap overlaps? Not as much as we did this like against like last weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a small change in the way that he's playing with his team, and I like it.
Mm.
I like
I
it.
yeah, I like it as well.
Now
I
that
think it's
that doesn't mean we can't play tiki taka. We did that in the press that we broke out of to go score the first goal,
yeah.
right, where everybody touched the ball. Um, but it's just, I mean, it's just incredible the way they're playing. And then you have Donnarumma, who's not Edison, but by gosh, he can shot stop. He's decisive. He's a great goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's been excellent for us. I think I saw a stat since he's joined us. Um I think since he's joined us, we only have one loss. And
Right,
it's the Aston Villa game, and that was a 1-0. So yeah,
right.
he's been phenomenal. I think I do like how the stats are trending. I said this earlier. I still want us to remain under the radar. I'm not overgassing anything. I'm not gonna talk about how we are back, because for me to say we are back, that's playing at our top level. That's
Well, I
playing.
mean,
That's
are we back?
no,
Somewhat.
nope, 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 Carl.
Well,
We're not.
let me explain. Let me explain. Let me explain.
No, no, I'm
Okay.
not gonna let you explain
I'm
because
not
Carl.
saying we're.
No,
I'm not
hold on, hold
saying.
on, hold on. I'm gonna challenge you because remember when we do talk about certain standards, right?
Well, let me
I'm
explain what I
teasing.
mean.
Okay, go
Let
ahead,
me.
go ahead,
Right. So
go
I'm
ahead.
not saying we're back to Centurion level, treble level kind of
Okay,
performance. That's
okay.
right. But we're on the way. Let's be clear. Last year at home against Liverpool, we lost 2-0.
Yeah,
Last year at the Emirates, we lost 5-1.
yeah.
I believe at United, I think we lost at United again. Or United
Mm-hmm.
beat us at home.
No, I think.
Yeah. They beat
Yeah,
us at home 2-1. So when you
yeah.
compare those three results, all of a sudden from 9 points, you have 7.
Mm-hmm.
You scored more goals, conceded less goals.
Okay.
So there's a change. Are we
Yeah.
back to the treble level? Maybe not that level, but there's a sea change from where we were last year to now. So we're on the way back to that pinnacle. That's what I mean by that.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I like hearing that. I, I'm gonna be again maybe a little more reserved in terms of when I say back, to your point. When I say back, it's like I know it's dominant play from minute one, and yes, we We had the Centurion season, different style of play, but that level of confidence, I'm not quite there yet to say we're back. But to hear your point with regards to we're progressing, I'm with you 100%. Let me also go to the comments. I want to say, Letty goes, actually Sam first goes, Nico O'Reilly eats up ground even though he might not be pacey. Yeah, it's because he's tall, it also doesn't look like he's covering that much ground, but his stride length, he's very good. And
quick.
yeah, Letty goes, simply we are playing to our strengths, keep the ball, but not us usually in the past, but use our wingers the most. I think how we've adjusted to who we have, and this is why I've been a big defender of last season and of Pep, is because I think from a player, from a manager standpoint, it's kind of like you use with what you have available, and then there's also a drop in performance that the players had. I think everyone's kind of like renewed a little bit, rejuvenated, recognized the mistakes, and in terms of like even with what Gunnelorian pointed out, the progression to improvement to get back to our winning ways, we've all adjusted for it, and it's been really good. Now, you talked about us making Liverpool look bad. You want to talk about the approach on how we made them look bad, especially when, to your point, when we didn't have possession.
I mean, this was just what we've been talking about for a long time, about overloading the central area. So the key thing in this game was the fact that traditionally what he's done, we've been caught out and found out, was that he would invert one of the fullbacks. So whether it's Stone, fullback, or maybe it's like Walker or Guardiola or someone, a left back, he would invert them into midfield to create the overload.
Yeah.
The problem you have with that is that when you vacate that spot, that's where they transition into with one ball. So now you're scrambling back to your defensive third and you're under attack. One mistake, one person out of position, they score a goal. What he's done now, he's saying, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to overload the central air with 5, right? So think about Cherki, Foden, Nico, Bernardo, and then sometimes you have, what's his name, Doku inverting into the midfield, making a 5, right? And then what I'm now going to do is make sure that I use my fullbacks, right, Nico and Nunes, to attack in the wide areas where those two wingers come inside. So you have 5 or 6 in the middle. So basically congest the middle. Now, you would think that if I congest the middle, what Liverpool got, and Liverpool did this in the second half, right? What they started to do was play wide and wide and wide after a while. Can we get him behind in the wide areas, right? But what happened in the first half was that Nico was so aggressive and Nunes so aggressive, they forced the fullbacks of Liverpool behind. And because Salah's not tracking back, all of a sudden there was always a 2v1 versus Bradley, which means that Gravenberch was always going back there to help out, which created a space in the middle, which we have more numbers. So it was, the central overloads with fullbacks pushing high, wide. It's almost a combination of two central overloads, but also wide area overloads. That's why we kind of, put them under pressure. That's what I saw.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Pep and Pep, right? So obviously we have the addition of Pep Linders. There was a lot of criticism or doubt with regards to how beneficial it would actually be for him being at City, and many Liverpool fans were saying, just wait, he's going to ruin you guys. We saw what he did over at Liverpool, and it's just a matter of time. I think, obviously, with Pep Linders being a former assistant manager over at Liverpool, I think he gave the playbook. I think he gave the blueprint on how to take advantage of the weaknesses that Liverpool have and minimize the strengths that they have over there. Because conceding possession and saying, you know what, Holland, you cheat over to Van Dijk's side, make that less of an option with regards to ball playing. Let's make Konate make the decisions. Let's make Bradley be involved as well. Let's make Salah have to put in work, whether he's going to track back or not, to get possession, to make himself available. He's not that attacking threat closer to the back line. I think they were spot on. I think Pep Linders gave the blueprint while working with Pep for how we could deal with them and how other clubs What were you maybe saying to yourself as you were watching the game? Were you cheering when you were like, oh, okay, they're letting that side of the pitch be the attacking side or the pressure point? What did you see in real time?
I just saw overloads all over the whole field. That's what I saw.
Okay.
That was the key to the game. Central overloads and then wide overloads. It was just incredible to watch. I mean, to have, Josco and Stones as 2, and then you see Bernardo dropping in as a 3, or Nico dropping in as a 3. So there also I saw lots of rotation, right? But we always kind of built up with a 3. Either it was Nico or Bernardo.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna put this on screen because I realized the time as well. But this has to be talked about. And those of you on screen, actually, let me do a proper transition so I can do this later. We need to talk about. Let me actually move the timer as well. The third goal by Doku.
Oh yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, it felt like there was, how do I put this? It felt like this goal was teased, and he was looking for it when available, and it's maybe something that's been talked about from a coaching standpoint. But I'll share this with you as I watch games. And when you talked about the overload, I'm like, okay, if it's just 1v1,
this is different.
You got the green light.
So this goal ain't about overload or none of that.
Mm-hmm.
This goal or this move, this action here you see is when it goes through 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Right. This is all about, listen, I'm better than you. I'm a dribbler. I'm world class. I'm going to destroy both of you.
Ooh, world class. Okay. Yeah.
This action here, when he gets the ball and he has 2 people on him, narrow side to side, this was about, I have the ability to dribble past you 1v1 in between both of you. Not many players today do this.
No.
In fact, many players can't do this. What they would do usually is they would check that ball back to the central, which is exactly what Liverpool wants you to do.
Yeah.
Liverpool were not expecting Doku to get past those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And he gets this move off. Incredible. I was yelling. I'm not gonna lie. And I did a show earlier with regards to 115 talking about the performance in Doku. But I was yelling, oh damn! And then it was a matter of, okay, now what are you doing next? Right? What are you gonna do next? So what we see here is, I believe that's O'Reilly high up the pitch as well. He kind of gets out of the way, trying to draw the defender on. Now, I got no problems, and again, I'm gonna do this in bits and pieces. YouTube, this is for learning, analysis, breakdown. Do not copy strike me. I'm not playing this in its entirety. It's just a fragment. But for what we saw here, this move, and then obviously he chose not to slip it into Riley, and I'm not mad at that because again, we see in the rest of the box, there's no one in there. There's no one that's kind of come into that space yet. That's Van Dijk at the top of the box, kind of checking to see whether he needs to come over, help for Kanate. And Haaland's not synced up yet. I think if Haaland was able to see that move, right? If there was like, oh damn, he just went between the 2 of them. I think Haaland's already in that close space, or maybe he's looking to get behind Van Dijk. I'm not sure, but Haaland could have come across Van Dijk to have his preferred left foot and maybe take a shot. But I'm not mad with what Doku did. I love doing a little tactical. Letty, 1v1 demon. Like, he's a monster right now. So he obviously gets to take his shot. I was a little disappointed in watching it in hindsight that no one really reacted. I think that's Foden. I think that's Haaland. And they're ball watching right now. Right? Which isn't a problem. It was an amazing move. But moving forward, you would see
But see, and we can talk about that as coaches and as fans, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you what happens in the real game.
Yeah.
There are some moves that happen in the game where you stop being a player, become a spectator.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many good moves that you're like, wow, I got to watch this. And you become a spectator. That's why sometimes you see, like when I'm coaching sometimes, right, when a kid is on the ball, does something special,
Mm-hmm.
you just step back and you just watch. You don't say anything.
Yeah, but we've seen this often. Like, we've seen Pep put his hand on his head when he's seen Savinho, nutmeg a player, or we've seen him move, and he's been like, that was nice, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm not being critical. I'm again, it's just observing, like, oh, you know what? These players were ball watching for a second because of what Doku just did, and him going for the shot now after splitting between, Bradley and Gravenberch, taking the shot was a prelude, was foreshadowing to the third goal, right? So he knew the right angle, he knew the right, obviously the right contact that he wanted when he did get the third goal. Now, I think this international break actually comes at a very good time, and I'm always going to say that. I'm nervous now with what they're doing while on international break, but I think it's a good time. Yeah. But I think it's a good time because I do want players like Rodri to have that more prep time, that more recovery time. I want him in rotation. Not that I need him to start right away, but to have him available and to work himself back into playing fitness is great, because we're going to have games every 3 days, especially as we get closer to the winter break as well. So I thought it was a great display. I love the chaos that it's now caused. We talked about earlier on how Liverpool fans are shook. They spent $450 million in the summer and thought they were going to run away and have their back-to-back season. I love how we were the ones to apply this pressure. Now, future shows, everybody in the chat. Listen, I'm doing my best to be consistent. I want 11:15, 11:30, 11:45 to be the start of when I can do some shows, because I can work within the lunch break. I can work within the day. It's closing up. I'm actually, it's now after 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me, so I do have to dial back in. I'm so appreciative to have Gundalorian Pitch Points. His channel details are in this channel description. Please go and give a sub. We're going to collab, obviously, a lot more, and anyone that's available around that, between 11 and 12 East Coast time, Toronto time, or more so 4 and 5 p.m. out there in the UK, we're going to keep this going. This is I'm going to try my best to make this my time slot with Rarsa for when I give you guys content. Love, as always. Gundalorian, anything you want to say? International break?
It's always good to be on. I've been very busy, so it's been hard to do shows, but we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about what this man is rebuilding. I am excited. It's all I've been asking for.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. So we're gonna end it as we talked about the highlight with regards to Doku. All these topics were discussed on the show. I had amazing people in the chat, and I'm so thankful for all the likes that were dropped. Thanks for interacting with me. I'm Vader Games. That was Gundalorian from Pitch Points. This was Why Always Me, episode 124. Manchester City destroy Liverpool. Destroy the trust that Liverpool fans have for Slot. And we had Doku man of the match display. Are we Holland FC? I don't think so, when we have goals from Nico, goals from Doku, and performances like we have from Bernardo, Foden, O'Reilly. And Shirky didn't have the best game, but we know he's quality. I'm Vader Games. Catch me on the next show, which will be possibly tomorrow. Might do a 115. Check me out. Vader Games TV. We're out of here. Enjoy this outro. Get the likes up, people. Thank you so very much. Thank you for letting me know. Good show. And AJ in the building goes, did someone order an Arsenal fan? I'm going to catch you next one. Love as always. Enjoy the outro.
Thank you.